Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt drawn to someone before they said a single word? Not because of how they looked, not because of what they were wearing, but because of something coming off of them. Something you couldn't name, but absolutely could feel. That's not a social skill. That's not confidence. That's frequency. And here's the thing most people never figure out. Your desires operate the exact same way. What you want most isn't waiting to be chased down. It's waiting to be attracted. And attraction isn't about doing more, trying harder, or wanting it badly enough. It's about the signal you're broadcasting right now, in this moment, whether you're conscious of it or not. In this episode, I'm going to break down what vibrational frequency actually is, what it does to your body, your mind, and your reality, and give you the exact practices that will shift you from someone who chases their desires to someone those desires are magnetized toward. Let's get into it. My name is Daniel, and I want to start here with something that will reframe everything you think you know about why your life looks the way it does. Most people believe they are a physical body navigating a physical world. That the reason things are or aren't happening for them comes down to effort, timing, luck, or circumstance. But that model is incomplete. And not just philosophically, scientifically incomplete. Because at the most fundamental level of reality, you are not a solid object. You are a field of energy, vibrating constantly, transmitting a signal outward into a universe that is also, at its core, pure energy. You are both a transmitter and a receiver, right now, in this moment. And the signal you're broadcasting is either pulling your desires toward you or actively repelling them. Here's where this gets real. In the 1980s, Dr. David Hawkins developed something called the map of consciousness, a scale running from 1 to 1,000 that mapped different emotional states to different calibrated frequencies of human energy. And what he found was staggering. Emotions like shame and guilt register at the very bottom, around 20 to 30. Fear sits at 100, anger at 150. Courage, and this is the pivot point, courage breaks through at 200. Love reaches 500. States of pure enlightenment top out near 1,000. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that sounds interesting, but is it actually real? Here's your answer. Hawkins also calibrated historical figures. Gandhi measured around 760 on that scale. And you know what Gandhi did? Without armies, without resources, without institutional power. He mobilized hundreds of millions of people through presence alone. Mother Teresa calibrated near 700, and people who spent even a few minutes near her consistently described feeling a deep, unexplainable peace wash over them. On the other end of the scale, the most destructive architects of genocide in human history all calibrated at the lowest levels imaginable. This isn't metaphor. This is the mechanics of how human frequency shapes reality. And there's a statistic from Hawkins' research that I think about constantly. A single person operating at a consciousness level of 700 energetically counterbalances 70 million people operating below 200. One person, 70 million. That number should tell you something profound about the stakes of your own inner work. Because your frequency isn't just personal, it ripples. So when we talk about raising your vibration, here's what we're actually talking about. We're talking about moving from what Hawkins called force, which is the grinding, pushing, striving energy of lower emotional states, into power, which is when life starts to flow through you rather than against you. Lower vibrational states like chronic anxiety, fear, guilt, shame, they contract the body. They activate your stress physiology. They flood your system with cortisol, suppress your immune response, and generate inflammation. Western medicine already acknowledges that most chronic disease in the developed world is stress-related. Stress is a low-frequency state, and when your body is constantly allocated to managing that internal friction, it has nothing left for clarity, creativity, or magnetism. Higher vibrational states do the opposite. They activate parasympathetic tone in the nervous system. They widen perception. They improve immune function. They generate a kind of energetic openness that other people and circumstances respond to. For years, probably over a decade, I lived in a baseline of anxiety and worry. That was just the frequency I'd been trained into, and the life I was living reflected it back perfectly. Not because I wasn't working hard, not because I wasn't trying, but because the signal I was broadcasting was one of scarcity, fear, and doubt. And the universe, like any good receiver, matched it. Here's the concept that changes everything. Like attracts like. Not as a feel-good platitude, as an operational principle. The emotional frequency you habitually live in is the filter through which your entire reality is constructed. Lower frequency emotional states generate lower frequency experiences. Financial instability, relationship friction, health breakdowns, and a persistent sense that no matter how much you do, nothing actually shifts. Higher frequency states generate higher frequency experiences. Not through magic, through the actual physics of how energy organizes reality. And there's one more thing I want to be really clear about. The path to a higher frequency isn't primarily about adding more. It's about subtracting what's pulling you down. Because the default environment most of us live inside, the processed food, the doom scrolling, the constant media cycle of fear and outrage, the screens, the algorithmic chaos, all of it is structured, whether intentionally or not, to keep your nervous system locked in a low vibrational state. Your anger isn't a character flaw. Your anxiety isn't a personality trait. They're responses to an environment engineered to produce them. And the moment you begin opting out, even slightly, your system begins its natural migration upward. That's not self-help, that's physics. So how do you actually do it? How do you stop living in the frequency of wanting and start living in the frequency of having? Let me give you the practices that have genuinely moved the needle. Not just theoretically, but in the lived experience of people who have committed to this work, including me. Practice 1, breathwork. Specifically, a protocol called heart rate variability breathing. Here's how it works. You breathe in through your nose for exactly 5.5 seconds. Then out through your nose for exactly 5.5 seconds. No pause, no hold, just a continuous rhythmic cycle. You do this for 10 to 20 minutes. That's it. I want you to understand something about this practice. It's not relaxing in the passive sense. It's a direct neurological reset. Some people who do it consistently report effects comparable to a pharmaceutical muscle relaxant. Your heart rate variability, which is one of the most accurate physiological markers of nervous system health and resilience, measurably improves. And when your nervous system recalibrates, your frequency recalibrates. The state shift is not subtle. I do this in the car. I do it during calls. And after 20 minutes, the anxiety that was sitting on my chest simply has nowhere to live anymore. Practice 2, intense physical training. And I want to reframe what this actually is, because most people think of exercise as a physical intervention. It's not. It's an emotional one. When you're pushing your body hard enough that your mind cannot simultaneously generate a worry spiral, when you're 60 seconds into a sprint or 3 sets deep into a workout and your entire nervous system is committed to the physical demand, you are, in that moment, fully present. And full presence is itself a high vibrational state. You're not catastrophizing about the future. You're not replaying the past. You're here. And here is where the frequency lives. Beyond the documented biochemistry, the endorphins, the dopamine, the reduction in cortisol, the BDNF that literally grows new neural tissue, the simple fact is, you can't vibrate at the frequency of fear and push through a hard workout at the same time. 2 to 4 times a week of genuinely intense training does more for your energetic baseline than almost any other single intervention. Practice 3, curate your inputs like your life depends on it. Because it does. Most people think of nutrition as what goes in their mouth. But you have 5 senses feeding your nervous system constantly. What you watch, what you listen to, who you talk to, that is all nutritional input for your frequency. High vibrational content. Teachers, thinkers, traditions, music, conversations that elevate, they are inputs that literally feed the signal you broadcast. I spent years during the hardest reset of my life filling my mornings with people like Neville Goddard, with ancient wisdom traditions, with teachings that spoke to something deeper than my circumstances. That wasn't escapism, it was rewiring. You don't transcend a low vibrational environment by staying immersed in it. You transcend it by relentlessly feeding your system something higher. Practice 4. Process what you've been storing. This is the one people resist the most, and it's probably the most important. Journaling isn't a journaling practice. It's an emotional processing protocol. Most of us have spent years reaching for something external the moment a difficult feeling surfaces. The phone, the drink, the scroll, the coffee, anything to avoid actually feeling the thing that's trying to be felt. And here's what that costs you. Every unprocessed emotional charge, every old fear, every buried resentment, every grief that never got its moment, lives in your nervous system as a low-frequency activation point, a trigger. And every time it gets hit, it pulls your entire energetic field back down into that frequency. The path forward is not around those charges, it's through them. Somatic work, which is the practice of physically locating an emotion in your body and staying with it for a few minutes instead of running from it, is one of the most effective tools I know for permanently dissolving those anchors. Not managing them, dissolving them. Because here's what happens when you do that work consistently. The charge loses its power. The trigger stops triggering. And in the absence of all that internal friction, your natural state, which is expansive, connected, and high frequency, simply emerges. You don't have to manufacture joy. You remove what's been blocking it. Practice 5. Community. This one is non-negotiable. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. Raising your vibration is not a solo project. It cannot be. We are social, energetic organisms, and we entrain to the frequencies of the people around us. If you spend most of your time with people who are locked in fear, complaint, and scarcity, their signal affects yours. This is not judgment, it's physics. If you want to get serious about this, genuinely serious, you actively seek out, spend time with, and contribute to relationships with people who are committed to this same work. People who are choosing courage over comfort, who are doing the inner work, who talk about growth and possibility from a place of genuine practice, not performative positivity. That community is a force field. It's a dojo for your frequency. So here's what I want you to walk away with. Your frequency is not fixed. It is not your personality or your destiny. It is a habituated pattern in your nervous system, and habits can be changed. You are not broken. You have not been unlucky. You have been operating from a signal that reflects what you've been through and what you've been fed. And the moment you begin to shift that signal through your breath, through your body, through what you consume, through what you process, and through who you surround yourself with, the desires that felt so impossibly far away will begin to move toward you. Not because you wanted them more, because you finally became the frequency they were looking for. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs it today. Subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment below and tell me, which of these 5 practices are you committing to first? I read every single one. I'll see you in the next one.